Hi, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all my friends out there. Welcome back to another Love to Talk. So, in the last episode, we talked about how to make our writing more sophisticated and build off of canon and various other sources. So, how do we take this to heart, really? I mean, yeah, sure, we're building off canon and making things make sense and sewing them all together, making them flow like a conversation, or even just, hanging, chilling out, playing video games, a good paper, music. But how do we get this thing that we need to, of course, just work? Now, one of the ways that I do this is that, one, I let things just kind of all flow. I go for a more natural approach to any and really everything when I think about it, and I get into the character's mind, of course. I also go back and, read. I read, what I've written. I watch what I've made, and I see if I got the response I wanted from the readers or the viewers by becoming one. By seeing if I've successfully gotten them into this character, into the mind of this character, into their brain, their life. I go back and I do it. I make it natural and I let everything flow. But now, how are you supposed to, do all of that with this, that, and the other? How are you supposed to, build a story off of point of view and just justifying a character, of course, and making the canon make sense? We have the ground bases, but now we need to put the blocks up and, start building the tower or the stronghold or onto the story, whatever, really. Well, I don't know. You honestly tell me, what do we do next after we explain all of this stuff? Do we just keep writing or just keep singing? No. What we do is build on it. We see a journey and a path that this person is taking. We are taking it with them. We know where the end is in our mind and in the character's mind. And maybe sometimes even the readers do. But it's our job to make the journey. Like writing like you're writing and explaining canon within that, you have to make the journey all flow together, all add up. It has to all make sense. And you have to be able to think ahead of that stuff. You have to be able to know that the readers are going to have questions about this, that, and the other from the last book, or the viewer is going to have questions about this, that, and the other that, they just saw here in this edit. You have to be able to address those questions here, now, and back in the past. Now, of course, this sounds weird and strange and probably like, how are we supposed to do that? What is this, foreshadowing? Yes, it is. But how do we do that? The past, do we go back and edit it? No, you don't always need to. I'm gonna tell you, okay, about 100% of this time, I knew where I was going, but I didn't know where I was going. When I started Unseen, it was really actually Voltron one-shots that I started off with, and somehow I turned it into a story. But the way I did that was I started building off each one of the one-shots to kind of make sense and make a continuation. By the time we got to so many, I had this whole entire idea and path and journey for Lance to go on with Pidge and Hunk and the rest of the Paladins. Rights also go to the creators of Voltron, by the way, too. I had a whole entire thing that I was just like, whoa, that kind of makes sense. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. And every time I look back now at my writing that I've done in previous chapters, the previous book, just any and everywhere. Literally, I could have written it last night. I see all the ideals I've already always had. I see that when you have a goal in mind and a true path and a journey for this person, you don't have the journey, but you have the technical end. You have where you want your character to go, and that's all you need. It is. As long as you have a plan for where your story is headed, you will find your journey. You don't have to go day by day thinking, oh my gosh, where are we going? What am I doing? How is this going to work? If you just write, sing, dance, perform, be with the goal that you have in mind. If you have a clear path for yourself, then chances are you already have the ideals and the skills to pay the bills. You already have the end point, and you already have the journey. The reason why it flows all together and makes sense is because it is natural, and because as ideals come, you have already introduced them probably to yourself and your readers or viewers and audience, but now you realize that, and then you're like, oh yeah, let me put that in, let me do that. And as the days go by and as you go through songs, dances, musicals, conversations, whatever, it builds for you. You have your foreshadowing you already need. You have the character's evolution that you already need. And if you are truly, truly thinking in the head of this character, of these characters, you already know how to explain the things that didn't really make sense in the past, and how you're going to explain them, and probably when. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I know where each day in my story is going to take me. I'm not going to tell you that I sit down and I'm like, okay, so for the next chapter, we're doing this and that, and draft a whole entire thing. No, because that's just not okay. No. I'm telling you that I think of ideas. I write them down and I let everything flow together. I have ideas. I have things I want to put in, and I can put in, but what I do is I let the universe or our creator take over and write naturally and build up to the places where I want to go and the places that I see. I don't plan every second, minute, hour of what I do. I don't plan every, way I'm going to do everything. But if you set it in motion and you have an idea for where this is going to end and take you, really more take you and this character and these characters rather than end, then you have your plan. You have your foreshadowing. You have this character. You have this story. You have your life goals. You have your life plan. And you've got your everything. You may not always know what you're going to consciously do, but when there is a clear path and journey, things flow together. You don't worry about the next chapter, or the next paragraph, or sentence, or song. You don't worry about them fitting together. You talk about them fitting together. And you talk about how to make it better. You naturally weave it. If you don't have an ideal or plan, you already know that. You already do.